Hey, howdy, hey, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. For tonight's video, I'm going to be reviewing RuPaul's Drag Race episode 8. So if that sounds good to you, make sure to like this video, comment down below what you thought about this episode, and without further ado, let's get this video started.
Hey there, it's Rosé from season 13 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Make sure to tune in to the Samateur Hour. And while you're there, baby, make sure you subscribe.
Alright. So, for today's episode, we got the Rusical. Yes, we got the Rusical, and it was a wonderful Rusical. I actually really enjoyed it. I think this was a very good Rusical. I wouldn't say one of the best, but it's very good. So, let's get on into it. Obviously, the Queen's episode starts with the Queens walking back into the workroom after Lala has been eliminated, and they're all very upset to see Lala go. I was too, because Lala really lit up a room. She just brought so much joy into the workroom, and I feel like without Lala, it's just a little bit, it's different. That's all I'm going to say about that, but I love Lala Ree. Such a good queen. So the queens are all getting out of drag. Denali, again, is still mad about being safe. That was about it, really. She kept going on about how her dress was so gorgeous. I agree the chandelier dress is pretty. I don't necessarily think it was the best outfit on the runway. Just saying. I mean, did you see Simone's outfit? Simone's outfit? Yeah. Anyways, so that was about it for that. But anyways, now we get into the new day in the workroom, and we are going to find out what the main challenge is. RuPaul enters into the workroom and tells the queens that the main challenge for this week is going to be the social media, the unverified Rusical. I thought this was a really fun episode. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, then we get to the assigning of roles, and all the queens have to pick out what roles they want. There's one point where Denali and Rosé are fighting over a specific role, and they both have to audition between each other to decide who gets the role. And in the end, I want to talk a little bit about this. I thought this audition was just funny the way they edited it, especially with the way that they put background music for Rosé, and then when Denali audition, there was no background music. So, I mean, they basically set it up to be really pro-Rosé. I will say, I think Rosé killed it, and I think Rosé is an amazing performer. So this episode just made sense for the role to go to Rosé. So, Denali ends up being a Russian bot, which she's not super happy about, but she killed it anyways. I'm just saying. But, there is another thing I wanted to point out that I thought was just funny, was the confessional when Tina Burner said that she voted for Denali just to piss off Rosé. I thought that was hilarious, because I love that. She's just like, oh, I'm just messing with Rosé. Why not? So it's a fun part in that, and then we get into the singing and the choreo. When it comes to recording vocals, there are a few people I want to talk about. Olivia killed it, because Olivia sings, that's what she does. Elliot was a little rough. I think, Elliot was rough. Simone really struggled, and Simone was very nervous about the singing aspect of this performance, which I understand. If you aren't a great singer, you can definitely get into your head about it. But the important thing is to persevere and really bring out the character and really perform that way. With that being said, I think Simone definitely got into her head too much in this episode, and that was just another example of that. But they do the vocals with Michelle. Everything goes pretty well for most part. Then we get to the choreo with Jamal Sims. Jamal is an amazing choreographer, so of course they're going to have him in this episode. Simone, again, struggled with it. Like I said before, I think it's too much in her head. Gottmik also struggled a little bit with the choreography during the first part that we saw. But I was able to turn it out in the end, of course. And yeah, that was about it for the choreo. Nothing too terribly crazy. Candy struggled a little bit too. And yeah. Now we get into the next day when the queens are getting ready for the performance. We find out that Tina Burner used to date Graham Norton. That was about it. They were just talking about social media during that part. Candy going viral for her sitting alone in the VIP. I'll put a picture of her if I can find one. That was about it. Nothing really crazy happened. It was fine. I feel like some of these conversations are just not as exciting as others, / feel unnecessary if I'm being honest with you guys. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Let me know what you think. But now we're getting into the runway and the performance. I'm going to talk about the performance first. I also actually want to touch on the judges. We find out Jamal Simmons is a guest judge, of course, because he also did the choreo. And there's Ross and Michelle, like always. Makes sense. Everything's normal with that. When it comes to actual performance, I wanted to talk about a few queens and all the above. I love that Denali really stepped up to the occasion and really performed the house down boots. And so did Gottmik. They both did really well together. Candy struggled for sure. I think Simone was very, very nervous, and you could tell she felt bad about it. And I think that came through in her performance. Like I said, she wasn't able to overcome her nerves and really just push out the character the way she needed to. I do think Utica did much better than she thought she would. I agree with her placement, but it wasn't the worst, I will say. Candy struggled, like I said. Rose killed it. Of course Rose killed it. Rose is a performer and a singer, first and foremost. Olivia was great. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but Olivia was great. And yeah, now we get into the runway. I'm going to talk about the runway now. The category was yellow, of course. I thought this was a fun category. It was very broad with what you could do, which is why I'm surprised we got a few not repeat, but similar concept outfits. Excuse me. Like Elliot and Tina with the taxi driver. Thought that was a bit weird. But that was about it for the... I was talking about the runway. Sorry. I think Candy looked gorgeous. Gorgeous. I love this reference. I'm going to put a picture here because I was obsessed with this. I also thought it was interesting how we saw Gottmik as a crash test dummy, which we've already seen Denali do, but I think Gottmik killed it as well. And Simone also looked gorgeous. Of course, I do think that this outfit was not my favorite of Simone's outfits, I will say, because I feel like Simone has worn something much better. I liked Olivia's outfit. I don't really understand the arm things. I don't know, maybe that's just me. And that was about it. I wasn't crazy about Utica's outfit either. It was fine. Yeah. Now we get to the judging, and I'm going to go and tell you guys what happened. Of course, we have our safe queens, which are going to be Elliot, Utica, and Olivia. I could have seen Olivia being in the top, but I understand why she was placed where she was. I do think she did very well in the musical. But Gottmik and Denali definitely killed it as well, so that makes sense. The tops this week are going to be Gottmik, Denali, and Rose, of course, because Rose also killed it. And the bottoms this week are Tina Burner, Candy Muse, and Simone. It makes sense. I agree with this placement for the most part. I think overall it was a pretty fair judging, I will say. And yeah, obviously when it comes to actual judging, they were just mostly talking about how Simone, like I said, was really nervous, and you could tell on stage. Candy was just a little sloppy on stage as well. And Tina, almost, it looked like she stopped lip-syncing at one point during the performance. And obviously Rose killed it, like I said. Denali did really well, and so did Gottmik. And I think that they're a pair, and that's why they replaced her. That's my own opinion, maybe. I don't know. But now we find out who the winner is, and the winner this week is Rose. 100% well-deserved. Way to go, Rose. Way to go. Yeah. And Gottmik and Denali are safe. Completely fair. And the bottom two this week are going to be Candy and Simone, and Tina Burner is safe. One thing I wanted to point out with this was, Candy and Simone have been killing it throughout this competition, especially Simone. Simone has won multiple challenges. So for Simone to be in the bottom 2 really surprised me. I was not expecting that this early in the competition. When it comes to the lip sync, they lip sync to Boss by Fifth Harmony, I believe. It was a really good lip sync. They both killed it. I think Simone was serving face the entire time. She killed it. And Candy was just in the song. She was living in the song. It was so good. And in the end, RuPaul tells Simone to Shantae you stay, and then tells Candy to sashay away. But as Candy is sashaying away, she says, wait, Candy, I want you back. You're not done. So, nobody was eliminated this week, which is fair. I think they both killed the lip sync. I think it was a fair double Shantae. I think they were very, very well, competing very well against each other. So I agree with that for the most part. And yeah, that brings the end of my review. Obviously, next week we will be having the quarantine special. I don't know what it's going to be like. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a review. I'll have to watch it and let you know what I think. But I might not be reviewing that. Just be aware. But yeah. That brings me to the end of my review. Make sure to like this video if you liked it. Comment down below what you thought about this episode. And hit that subscribe button. And I will be back here tomorrow with my fashion review for episode 8. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye guys.